Welcome to Career Hacking 2023 from Easel. This course enables you to reach your career goals faster with insider strategies for early, middle, and later stage careers. First, you're going to learn how to write your own $1,500 resume that gets you past gatekeepers. And then we'll make sure that you look great on LinkedIn with a strong, relevant, professional brand. Then you'll learn what we call Job Search 2.0. How to leverage technologies like Boolean search queries and Job Search CRM. Then you'll learn how to win in job interviews while staying true to who you are. I'm Davis, a former Fortune 500 recruiter, and I'm passionate about putting the power back into your hands so that you can take control over your career, so that you can live well and also make a difference in the world. Join me in the world's best-selling career management course. I'm looking forward to seeing you inside.
All right, cool. So in this module, we're basically going to upgrade your thinking about job hunting and how the labor market works generally with two examples. So at the end of this module, you should see more clearly how this whole system works. And you're going to see why preparing on the front end is going to save you time, get you access to more opportunities, more money, and ultimately give the power back to you. So let's take case one. So in this case, John has recently graduated from college. He's feeling really good about his degree, as a lot of people do. And he goes out, quickly prepares a resume, maybe a cover letter, and submits 50 applications. So he's feeling good, waiting for them to get back with a response, and he finds out that he has a 0% success rate. So at the beginning of this story, John was starting off feeling like Superman. At the end of it, he's feeling more like a worm. So now let's take the second story of Mark. Now in this case, Mark goes to use a resource like Easel to prepare his messaging, his resume, his cover letter, his LinkedIn. He started to network, and he knows that the job search is going to take him a little while. So right from the outset, he's prepared, he's got all of his assets ready, and he deploys them out to the same 50 applications that John had made in the first example. The difference is that in the case of Mark, because he was well prepared, he's networking, he's using tools like Job Search CRM, instead of getting a 0% success rate, he's got more like a 15% success rate on those applications converting into interviews. So as he goes on and he takes those interviews, let's say that 2 or 3 of them convert into job opportunities. So now Mark has choice. And even though it might have taken him 3 months to get through all those interviews, he now has 3 job opportunities where John is back at square one.
Resumes. I know that they're not people's most favorite thing to write, ways to spend your time. And you know what? They're really important. They're important for a couple of reasons. The first reason is the simple reason, which is that presenting yourself powerfully on this piece of paper or in a PDF is still really important when your resume gets to the right person. Even if you go through some sort of automated system or you have a friend at the company, they're still going to ask you for a resume. And it's important that you present yourself powerfully on that document. Now the other reason, the second reason that resumes are becoming increasingly important is that when you put these resumes into things like applicant tracking systems or ATSs, that's what human resource departments often have you fill out when you apply for a job, your resume is basically going to be parsed up by all these basically software packages, and then it's going to be analyzed and things like that. So your resume needs to be both powerful for people who are actually reading it so that they think, oh, this person looks good, I trust them, and you're going to find out more about that coming up. And also to have those keywords in there so that when your resume goes into a software package, which is then analyzed, the data is then analyzed as a part of assessing your candidacy, that you come up in the good category. You come in for interviews and things like that. So we're going to dive into the resume section here. First, you're going to find out about the Big 6 skills, which is a core part of this learning experience. And then I will see you in the next section where we actually write a resume together.
Okay, cool. So your resume is going to be centered around 6 core skills. And these skills are kind of like the wheels on a car. It makes everything go. The cool thing is, we're about to teach you how to hack this whole system and find what skills organizations are looking for so that you can design your resume in a way that helps you win. Labor market experts know that most people are looking at resumes for about 6 seconds before they decide to put that resume in the interested pile or in the garbage can. The thing is, almost all professionals are really busy and short on time, and companies report that they get about 250 applicants for every job opening that they have. So that means somebody is sitting there looking at a mountain of resumes. These people develop eye scanning techniques, and research shows that their eyes tend to gravitate towards these areas of the page. These are the places on the page where your resume needs to shout, "I have the skills that your organization needs to thrive." That's why the template that you have is designed the way that it is. All right, so let's take John, for example. John is a digital marketer, so what he does is he goes on his favorite search engine and puts digital marketer job description there and pulls up a few job descriptions. In the desired qualifications section usually, sometimes in the ideal candidate section, it'll show skills that are desired by the organization for the applicants in this role. The skills that are listed higher on those job descriptions are higher priority skills for those organizations. And so it's not that John needs to think, I need to put these skills verbatim on my resume, but it's certainly worth considering. The best mix is to mix the skills that are listed on those job descriptions with John's natural talents. By blending the required skills with the natural talents, the person who's scanning the resume is going to see John has the skills that are needed for this role. It's kind of like a system. If you have the skills that are required for the job, then you will likely get an interview. Candidates often have a hard time explaining their transferable skills or finding evidence that they have the skills required for some particular job. And in reality, this is something that's really easy to do. Most candidates are kind of like icebergs. They only show or think that they have a certain very small percentage of skills, and in reality, they have so many more skills than even they know. And so the way that you do this is through the concept of framing. And all framing is thinking about your own professional, academic, and volunteer history, and then learning how to select the right experiences that you can then extract and then surround with the right language so that your target audience, recruiters and HR managers, understand that you have skills that are relevant for their organization. The thing is, HR managers aren't going to be looking at your resume as like an investigative journalist would, like looking into your past. What they're looking for is evidence that you have the skills that their organization needs to get where it's going. It's well known in the business community that the best way to get an organization from point A to point B is by putting the right people on the bus, and that's all about hiring well and managing your talent well. So let's take Sarah, for example. Sarah wants to make a transition from the hotel industry into the nonprofit industry. And she knows that she needs to be able to show that she has skills in fundraising and strategic event management. So what she's going to do is just reflect on her professional, academic, and volunteer history, and she's going to think, when have I ever done anything like fundraising in my history? And then maybe she thinks, oh, here's one experience, and here's another experience, and then she extracts those out and saves those. Then she's going to think, when have I ever done any strategic event management or managed big groups or managed parties? And she thinks, well, I worked at hotels and I used to handle conventions all the time. So she extracts those experiences and saves those. Then she's just going to surround those experiences with the right words. So then what she's going to do is take these experiences that she's collected and start developing the language for them so that she can put them on her resume in a way that makes sense for the person on the other side of the fence who's reading her resume. And that's how you use framing to explain your transferable skills. All right, cool. So in this module, you're going to upgrade your thinking to Bruce Lee level ninja status for the job hunt. And that is because 99.99999% of candidates think that a job opportunity is closed when another candidate gets that position. The reality is that based on statistics, 10 to 15% of the time that an employee starts with a new company, they leave that position within 6 months. That's because there are millions of reasons that this could happen. It could be that they have a family crisis, they have to move, they just don't like the company. There are millions of reasons that this could happen. So maintaining relationships with professionals and recruiters over a longer period of time by using job search CRM stands for Customer Relationship Management, will really supercharge your job hunt. So let's say that John, for example, was in an interview series to join a marketing firm in San Francisco as a junior accountant, and ultimately he didn't get the job. So what he does is he goes to his job search CRM technology and just logs himself a little reminder to reach out to the recruiter at this company in a month. Now, if you need word tracks and timing for these things, just check out the supplementary guide to job search CRM from Team Easel. So a month goes by, and then John gets this email to remind him to reach out. He does so, and then this recruiter says, John, your timing is perfect. This person came on, they didn't really work out, and we really need somebody ASAP. Can you come in for an interview? Now what John may find is that whereas before he was within these walls and barriers of the traditional interview process, these have all now crumbled away. He's the only candidate and the company needs somebody ASAP, which is exactly where John wants to be. So check out Easel's side-by-side on using job search CRM technologies, and check out this guide to supercharge your thinking about connecting with people during the job hunt and creating opportunities for yourself.
I think we're already starting to see a pretty big shift in terms of location, right? I think companies are now starting to say, does that engineer necessarily need to sit? Hi there. Can I please have your phone to watch Matilda? Say, if the company's based in San Francisco, do they necessarily need to hire someone that sits in SF 5 days a week? I think companies are, and I guess maybe we should clarify. At the earliest stage company, maybe it is important for teams to be close and collaborative and things like that. But I do think there's a point where physical proximity is maybe less important than someone who knows what they're doing, who can play well with others or work well with others. And now there's communication tools that are making that easier than ever.
I would say that, you should equip yourself with some sort of programming knowledge. It doesn't matter exactly what industry that you're in, as long as you can, utilize the programs that you've learned to better your current position. And I think that will give you a leg up in the society, knowing that things will change rapidly when they do.
I think networking, again, is going to become even more important in job search as things become more and more automated. More and more stuff is done online. More and more automated search that basically filters you in or out very quickly based on the keywords in your resume. All that stuff is really helpful, but it's also helpful to get around that through your network. And so I think networking really, really helps more and more as that stuff becomes more automated. In terms of the jobs out there and the best places to be in the job market, with AI and machine learning becoming more and more prevalent, all the rote tasks, I think, are going to become more and more done by machines. And the best place to be in terms of employment is going to be in leadership, soft skills, communication, and of course, technology is going to be a great place to be because you have to help the technology itself know how to do all those rote tasks. Sales, marketing, leadership, and technology, I think, are really the key places to be looking in terms of future career direction that's likely to be more bulletproof in terms of AI and machine learning taking over the more rote tasks.
For me, I think for sure from what I read and from what I see, we'll be seeing a lot more independent, freelance entrepreneurs out there. So rather than the standard employment contract, right, where you have an employer and an employee and an interview and a contract, etc. I think you're doing more and more with the ability to just contract your services out, and I think some people are pretty excited about that. And we're seeing some MBAs leave the MBA and go into freelance. So today, that's definitely a viable option. And if you're a bit entrepreneurial and you're ready to strike out on your own, I think that that's fantastic. Then in terms of how we're hiring, even here at EDHEC, we're using more and more contractor work.
I think we're going to see lots of people now doing jobs, applying for jobs, wanting to be part of jobs which perhaps they would previously be thought of as being overqualified for. or where we would previously have said that's a sideways move or that's a downward move. But I think people are going to start actively making those choices because it suits their lifestyle, because it suits the geography they want to be in, because it suits something else. And I think that's becoming more and more acceptable around the margins now. And I think that will probably become more and more mainstream.